All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning to all of my subscribers, and hopefully you are hearing this from my original main YouTube channel. I know I got 80 plus subscribers right now, 83 on my original YouTube channel, and if you guys are hearing this for the first time or whatever, I have another YouTube channel that I started about a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. And it's basically the same channel, except instead of it being called Nukem Nintendo, it's called Nintendo Nukem. So please find that channel, subscribe to it. I'll probably leave a link of it in the comment section and in the description as well. But do yourself a favor, subscribe to that channel, because you never know when this YouTube channel right here is going to get hit with another strike. That is what happened. I had 2 videos that were removed. One was calling out that piece of crap Lord Frogmire, and another one was calling out that idiot Hypnotic. And you know, because YouTube is a worthless piece of trash, and they seem to, you know, protect, you know, YouTubers who just do a lot of grifting and whatnot, they got to go after people like me who call them out. So the way this seems to be working right now is that you have a lot of clowns who, they don't really offer anything intelligent or anything unique to the table other than, hey, let's just bash on Nintendo, because there's a lot of, you know, just lowlives on the internet right now who are just completely butthurt over the fact that Nintendo is dominating, they're kicking ass. So these kinds of people, they just live on the internet right now. Nintendo lives rent-free in their head, and they hate reality. Let's just put it that way. They hate reality, because the reality is that Nintendo is dominating PlayStation, Xbox, and you know what? It's also dominating PC gaming. Nobody cares about PC gaming, and I'm going to make a video about that really soon, about how PC gaming is extremely overrated. It does not have 1 billion players. That is complete BS, and I will prove that in a later video. PC gaming is an absolute joke. I'm just gonna put it that way. PC gaming, everyone acting like, yeah, there's 1 billion players, but then you look at sales numbers and you look at so many other things, and you're just like, yeah, if they really had 1 billion players, you know, Steam should be making much bigger, you know, profits. They should have much bigger revenue, but they don't. So you got the Steam Deck only sold 4 million. I mean, there's so much proof and evidence just debunking that baseless claim that PC gaming has about 1 billion players. And as a matter of fact, people who try to say that Steam has 1 billion players, guess what? Valve and Steam themselves have never said that they've had that many players. They said they had about 400 million accounts, but that doesn't mean 400 million players. That's just 400 million accounts. People are constantly getting their accounts banned for cheating and whatnot. People have created multiple accounts, maybe because they forgot their old one. There's just many things to it. There's people who've created an account just to play it for one time maybe, and that was it. Anyways, I'm not going to get too deep into that right now, but the bottom line is Nintendo is dominating. They're doing very well. There's more news about how they're going to ramp up production to make 25 million Nintendo Switch 2 consoles by the end of the year, or by the end of the fiscal year, I believe. So, you know, there's just so much evidence showing that, you know, the Nintendo brand is stronger than ever. They're selling very well. They're dominating everybody else, and because of that, you know, you got so many clowns on the internet who are just hungry for misinformation against Nintendo. They're just hungry for negativity against Nintendo. And anytime, you know, there's a person like me who calls out these grifters, who calls out these fools, you'll get these guys, you know, just coming into the YouTube videos and just reporting it to YouTube, just falsely reporting it to YouTube. So that's kind of the deal right now. And you know, YouTube is just a piece of crap. You know, YouTube, you know, they protect these guys who make these negative videos. Even if these guys, like, let's just talk about, you know, foul language and, you know, saying really nasty words or whatever. A lot of these guys use the word retard and things like that. They'll use those type of words, and apparently that's okay. Apparently it's okay for them to do that. Apparently it's okay for them to show the face of another YouTube content creator and basically just send as much hate and negativity towards their way as much as possible. And YouTube won't do anything about it. YouTube won't do anything about it because they like the fact that these guys are hating on Nintendo, and you know, they're getting lots of views and whatnot, and it just goes to show that YouTube is a complete piece of trash. You know, they don't really honor their, you know, their policies and whatnot. It's very selective how they do things. There's a lot of bias to it. So that's the deal right now. But let me just talk about what I'm going to try to do going forward. Now that I have this second YouTube channel, I'm going to try to upload videos to just both this YouTube channel and the other. So both of my YouTube channels, Nukem Nintendo and Nintendo Nukem, I'm going to try uploading videos to both channels. Because you know what? I probably have subscribers on my new channel that aren't subscribed to this channel, and vice versa, right? So might as well do it that way. Might as well try to build my audience up that way, and hopefully it'll work out, you know? Definitely not something I was ever planning on doing, but hey, that's where we're at right now, and maybe it'll be better for the channel. Maybe it'll be better. So I am definitely thinking about doing Rumble as well, because, you know, unlike stupid YouTube, Rumble, they don't really have all of these retarded policies, and they're not a bunch of damn hypocrites with double standards. You know, they're gonna flag one channel down, but they're gonna allow other YouTube channels that are just grifting to keep going and whatnot. So I'll probably start uploading videos on Rumble and then promoting them on YouTube and saying, hey, check out this video on Rumble, because, you know, this is a video that YouTube is probably not going to allow. And it's not because, you know, I'm like threatening someone's life, or I'm not like, you know, maybe some videos, maybe I might be a bit harsh, but so are the stupid videos of these grifters talking trash about Nintendo fans. So, you know, again, it's a double standard when it comes to YouTube and whatnot. And so now I gotta like find ways to make these videos and only put them on platforms that aren't going to just remove them, you know? But anyways, you know, it's great because, you know, there's right now a lot of YouTubers are finally starting to point out the misinformation towards Nintendo. They should have done this from the very beginning, but I guess recently Shigeru Miyamoto had said something about, you know, why they're getting more involved with the movie business, and people decided to just completely lie about what he said, mistranslate him, and basically misquote him and say that, you know, he's basically saying video games suck and we only care about movies, stupid stuff like that, which is obviously that's obviously far from the truth. And people are pointing out how it's misinformation, how it's far from the truth. And are the clowns who hate on Nintendo, you know, relieved and happy to know that it's not true? No, they're getting angry and calling people bootlickers. Oh, you're a corporate bootlicker because, you know, you're not willing to just, you know, let this lie, you know, live on. No, you got to debunk this damn lie and defend Nintendo. So, you know, it just goes to show how fake a lot of these people are. They were never Nintendo fans. Every time these clowns tell you that Nintendo fans are the fans that are angry at Nintendo right now, that's complete BS. It's a load of crap. Most of them are people who have always hated Nintendo. They've been butthurt for the last 8 years because the Nintendo Switch was dominating PlayStation, but because it wasn't, you know, it didn't have the same amount of power and graphic capability as the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, they would just make this narrative. They would just kind of like downplay it and be like, oh, well, technically Nintendo, you know, is doing their own thing, therefore they're not competing. But now the Switch 2 is kind of like direct competition. The Switch was direct competition too, but because the Switch 2 is now, you know, very powerful, and a lot of its games actually look just as good, if not better, than PlayStation 5 games, people are just like freaking out and they're just getting angry and butthurt, and they're just on this campaign to try to tear down the Switch 2. And the funny thing is, it's working against them. Everything they're doing is working in Nintendo's favor because they're talking so much crap or whatever. They're attacking consumers, and so consumers naturally have this, like, you know, instinctual reaction to just be like, go screw yourself. I'm getting sick and tired of you idiots being so pretentious, talking down to people who want to buy a video game console and enjoy it. You guys want to run your mouth and get mad at people for doing that? Screw you, I'm gonna go buy a Switch 2 now. just in spite of you guys, people are buying a Switch too. So it's great, you know, it's great that there's a lot of, you know, clowns hating on it. But, you know, that being said, we should still call them out on their BS, because if we go after these people and call them out on their lies and their BS, then, I mean, that's only going to create even more buzz surrounding Nintendo, and it's also going to just, you know, set the record straight, and it's going to, you know, fact check these clowns who are just making up blatant lies. So we need to keep doing that, guys. We need to keep calling these people out and whatever. So yeah, I'm going to continue to try to do that. But I do want to continue. I do want to start making more videos just about Nintendo video games and stuff like that. I don't want it to just be like me, you know, going after idiots who are just grifting. I do want to keep making videos just about video games alone, upcoming video games that I'm excited for. And so yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that. Hopefully, you know, I don't get another BS strike or whatever, for whatever stupid reason. But that's basically the deal, guys. That's pretty much all I got. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the other channel. There's 80 plus subscribers on my main channel, which is Nukem Nintendo. I highly encourage you guys to go subscribe to my other YouTube channel as well. All right, so there's also newer videos on that other YouTube channel, since I hadn't been allowed to upload videos on my main channel. So go check out the new videos on my other channel, give it a like, leave comments, do everything you can to boost the algorithm. Even if you don't like me, if you're one of these lame haters, I still encourage you to hit like. I still encourage you to subscribe and leave as many comments as possible, because that's going to really help the YouTube channel grow. It's gonna get more people to find this channel, and that's gonna be better for me. So go ahead and do that. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys later. You all have a good one.